Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Yeah. So hit me up with a happy Wednesday if if you celebrate Happy Wednesday. If you celebrate Hump Day. Anyway, welcome and welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. This is my OC character, F.O. Morn's daughter, a warrior, and so I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I am going to finish a piece. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've been working on the last couple of days and weeks, and we're going to talk about projects for the future, but today I wanted to try something a little different for Hump Day, for Wednesday, and kind of make it into a brief art workshop, if that's cool with y'all. I want to show you guys a bit of my just my thought process when I use reference for portraits or for figure drawing. Today I'm going to focus on a portrait. So, and the image that I'm going to use is kind of extreme, and it's simply because I was thinking and writing about this character, and I did this piece yesterday. Real quick, it was like about 45 minutes or so, based off of a action pose, on Pinterest. And while I was drawing it and doing it, in hindsight, when I was done, I'm like, man, I should have taken a moment and shared that process with my crew. So, but rest assured, if you came in here for the Joker, we will be finishing up this piece of the Joker. I don't know if we'll be finishing it, but we're going to be doing as much as humanly possible. Honestly, the buildup is there. I just want to do some of his collar. And I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing how the lettering gets done. That's probably going to be the most slow-going, monotonous part of the piece. It just is what it is. That's the reality. But if it's something you guys want to see, you let me know, and we'll do it. I'll do it on cam, or we'll see what happens. But I already have the words kind of measured out, ready to go. So it's just waiting on me. But let's do this. And I also got another piece to show you guys and share with you guys. That I did on canvas. I wanted to test something. I wanted to draw on canvas. So one of the things that has been pushing me forward in my art process is that I don't want to neuter or hinder a part of my of the process, because what's the word I'm looking for? How can I put this? I don't want to lessen my drawing because I can't ink it, and I don't want to lessen my inking because I can't paint it. I want to be able to do all three phases of my creative process at its highest level. So I treat every piece of paper and every type of paper the same, no matter the texture or the quality. This, for instance, is media paper, mixed media paper. I bought it to do gouache paintings, but mixed media, 140 pounds. It does really well for what I need it for. Good morning, drawing. Steal it. That's what it's for. You don't got to steal it. I'm giving it away. There's no gatekeeping here. Absolutely no gatekeeping here at the table. So pull up a seat and partake. As I look back at this piece, I don't know why I put these black marks. Anyway, that's supposed to be Mr. Freeze. Anyway, where was I? I treat every piece of paper the same, which makes it very difficult for me, and I begin to hem and haw whenever someone asks me, what paper do you recommend? What type of supplies do you recommend? Because I don't. I would rather have you grab anything that you want to try and figure it out. Some people paint better on media paper. Some paint better on watercolor paper or smooth jet, whatever it is, right? So on cardboard, on artboard, on canvas, it's hard for me to recommend. I tell people what I like to use, and so far, I like to use everything. And I think have used everything. I've used low-grade mixed media paper, black matte media paper, watercolor of all brands, arches, which I have there, which I want to use simply because it's expensive and I want to do trash art on it. I got artboards, I got whatever. So anyway, sometimes what we do when we're learning, we kind of like embrace our shortcomings. So what was happening is that I wasn't drawing fully detailed because I felt afraid to ruin it during the inks, or I was afraid to ruin it during the painting process, which is a terrible feeling, period, to try to be creative with fear. It really doesn't help. And it does it puts the kibosh, it puts the brakes, whatever you want to call it. It builds a wall of creativity and freedom. We should be okay with messing up a line. We should be okay with messing up a drawing. Like here, I was doing my OC characters kind of briefly and messing around with inks, and didn't realize or completely forgot that the inks weren't waterproof. And when I threw the acrylic wash over it, it kind of turned it into mud. Who cares? It happened. It bummed me up for a hot second, and then I moved on. I said, let me see if I can throw some gouache over it to build up. I really can't. And then I was like, maybe I should do acrylic, and I will not. Good morning, Artfully Becoming. Good morning. How are you? How are you? Drawing, how are you? I hope I said hello. So that's where I'm at. What is this? Here was me messing around with my blue pencils and then adding fluid acrylic on top. I think it's too light for me to draw or paint over it. I'm not sure, but I did this after this. So I'm always experimenting. I'm always trying to find something. So I kind of lost my train of thought. So if you guys see me losing my train of thought, please reel me back into what the heck I was talking about. I was talking about different types of paper. I was talking about we don't gatekeep, and that before I finish and continue with the Joker, I wanted to do a quick drawing workshop, which I think is what I'm going to try to merge these Wednesday streams into, right? Thanks. No work available today. No allows for focus on. Okay. Oh man, I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh man, no pressure on me then, right? I better be good. I better be interesting. So today's going to be kind of like a drawing workshop, not a drawing 101. I'm not going to be teaching in that sense, but I want to try to expand a little bit of my demonstration. That sound cool with you guys? Sounds cool with me. No one in particular, just kind of some messing around with measurements. I think her eye's too low here. It is what it is. And this is one of the things that I've been doing a lot more lately. I'm not coveting sketchbooks. I'm not coveting... Ooh, okay. I'm not coveting the sketchbooks. I'm not coveting my art books. I'm just grabbing a sheet of paper that's near me and going to town. Somebody wants to see the Galactus. Okay. Aye. So let's do that. I'll show you the Galactus. I'll show you, and then I'll work on the portrait I was going to mess with. So this was done off stream. I recorded this yesterday. I wish there was like, can I get like some 2001 Space Odyssey music going on? Anyway, here you go, guys. That is Galactus. called Hunger. He hungers. It's all graphite only, using my woodless lead pencils and my 6B and my eraser. And what a trial this was. The one thing I learned, which I'll explain when I do the video, when I do the narrative, which is what this is for, because I'm going to try to paint this later. And that's, again, breaking past fear, some bravery test. I'm going to paint over it. I don't know how it's going to come out. I don't know how I'm going to be able to play with these darks and the colors and the purple. I think we all had an issue with purple recently. But I don't know how I'm going to match those tones and that shininess using, I did those using the eraser. I did these sharp white lines or highlights using an electric eraser. I'm not in the fear of having it smudge. I sprayed this bad boy with fixative. But I kind of like how he gets lost in that atmosphere in the background, and that little blue jawbreaker is gonna get yoked. So, if you guys are like, man, this kid is everywhere. Kid. I'm all over the place. He does this, he does that. And it's because my mind is all over the place. I'm trying to develop my own story. I'm trying to develop my own artwork. I'm trying to build on basic techniques. I'm trying to build on and elevate my art form. Here goes the Joker. This is what we're going to be working on later. I love that face. I got my mirror in front of me so I can do my... I got to share this with you guys because I think it's kind of funny. I started to use my own mug and my own teeth to do the Jokers. I'm exaggerating and tweaking them to make it more dramatic, but I'm like, man, I told my wife, my teeth are jacked. And in her loving support, she said, you want to go get braces? I'm like, no, man, you're supposed to say no. They're not, but I guess they are. Same technique, guys. The same technique for both pieces. If you guys seen me draw the Joker, this is basically the same thing. Pull my lines in, build in the shadows, smudge the heck out of it, and start using the eraser to pull my highlights and pull form. Is very, if not similar, it is the exact technique they use on charcoal, when they use charcoal drawings. I don't know if they do this so much with pastels. If you guys are a pastel artist, you let me know and correct me. But I love charcoal, and so yeah, that's my jam. Eat my jam. I am going to I'm going to scan this because I love the way it looks, and then I'm going to get rid of the fear and bravery test, and I'm going to put some fluid acrylic, maybe not as dark as this, a little bit lighter. We'll see what happens. This one I ended up putting away too much, but I'm going to use the same type of process. Definitely not this light and not this color. This is raw sienna. I like burnt sienna better. I like the burnt sienna. These are some more OC characters that I have for my story. So I got my character on the mind. I'm gonna share with you guys the reference. Yes, fluid acrylic. I'm gonna share with you guys the reference if you want to draw along with me. It's kind of intense. You'll see in a moment. Yes, as an underpainting. I dilute this a bit with water. Um, Usually, I'm gonna see about skipping a step here. Usually, what I would do after I spray fixative on my charcoal on my pencil drawings before I paint, I spray with fixative and then I go over that with clear gesso. There's a gesso that I'm using, a clear gesso that has a smooth texture that I do not really like. It works okay with artboard. It'll probably work okay with a canvas because the canvas has a natural texture. Smooth gesso on paper leaves a weird shine. It left a weird shine on my Dick Tracy poster painting. So I'm not too, you know what I'm saying? There's something about it that's kind of like, that I can't get 100% behind. Alright, so if you guys want to jump on with me, let me share with you the image that I'm going to use. That one there. That one there. So, yeah, pretty intense. My character, unfortunately, she loses a lot. Not necessarily in terms of battle, but she loses people. She keeps surviving losses. She carries the responsibility of her people like an armor, and she feels personally responsible every time she can't save someone. It's kind of like it's something that I wanted to, and in my story she does. She roars a lot, so I really like looking at that image. It's super intense. I don't care too much about having it be one for one. I just like the expression, and we're gonna figure it out. So let me just minimize all the things around me so that nothing crashes. And I have the image in front of me as well. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna see if I can try to, not that I'm in a rush or anything, let's see if we can knock this out in a few minutes, just so that we can get to what we're all here for. All right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm staring at that image on my screen. And what I'm beginning to do is create a measurement. I'm staring at everything to try to lessen the details of what I see. I just want to see general shapes, lines and curves. That's all I want to do. I'm doing that while I'm also measuring the page. This page here, I'm actually looking at it and I'm trying to line up. So I know that there's negative space here. I'm looking at the negative space on the page. So I'm not just looking at her figure. I'm looking at the whole composition because that's going to help me create the measurement for her. If I just really just wanted to mess around, I'll probably do something, maybe we can do two of them. I'm gonna do two of them real quick. That might be too small. All right. If I wasn't doing demonstration like this, I'd be doing this a lot faster. There's 3 moves that I do before every portrait, if I'm looking at reference or not, and it's three shapes. A quick 1, 2, 3. I don't even know how to explain it. That gets me in the groove already. And so I'm going to show you guys that 3, and it's going to look like a Super Bowl trophy. So I draw my circle, and depending where the face is, if it's left or right, I'll draw the neck like this. That's usually the fastest way for me to get ready for a portrait, no matter what. And we're And from there, I get front of the face, flat part of the face, my jawline, and it's still ambiguous. From here, I can still determine if it's going to be a female face or a male face. So whenever I do practice, or whenever I got nothing else to draw, and I'll grab my sketchbook or a piece of paper somewhere. Those are the 3-line circle, flim flam bloom. That's it. From there, my mind starts going through all of the different methods of building the face, the splitting it in half, the Loomis, the Riley, all of those. All right. If you guys are in an art block, I recommend something like that, something that you can do quick. And what I would do also is I would do usually do three circles somewhere on the page of different sizes. And each one I would determine which the extreme angles to them. If this portrait is going to face that way, I'm going to face this one in the other direction, maybe 3/4, and one either looking down or looking up. I don't do this as much as I used to, but if you're ever having trouble, this is a great way to just kind of like loosen up. You don't wanna pull your artistic hammy, and they don't all have to be the same. They don't even all have to tell a story. One can be young. It doesn't matter. And this is a great way if you have the basic understanding and the basic how to build a face, right? The old school ice cream cone. You guys know about the ice cream cone, right? Draw the ice cream and the cone. I hope you guys know it, because that's as far as I go with the ice cream cone. And from here, same, we'll use the circle, fling flam floom. I can let my imagination go. That can be the brow line. I like to draw dudes with jacked up noses. The one thing that always gets me whenever I mess around like this is measurements, because of the way I do, and it's because of all the little mistakes that that I've never corrected, that I've embraced. Not everything is as far as apart or as close. Sometimes the eyes need to be closer. And these are just guidelines, that's all. Something to get the blood flowing. That's it. But I like these bust style portraits. Just to, you know what I'm saying? Just to get the blood flowing. And even though this is quick and dirty, I still use that same technique when I do these. If I'm having a hard time, I'll slow down and I'll do this process on something like that. And this bottom one looks a bit more cartoonish, so it helps build imagination. It helps build comfort from where you are. I'm gonna give him big eyes but small. And usually doing stuff like this, that's such a funny face. It gets certain wheels moving in your mind when you're drawing, so then you can start just creating shapes and seeing if you can build a face inside of the shapes. Who they look like they're kissing. Or maybe he doesn't want to be kissed. You can mess with expressions. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's do this face. This media paper it has some teeth to it. So I probably should just grab a Bristol paper so it can be nice and smooth, but we gonna be all right. So, references with me. So one of the things, a lot of the detail you'll notice is where her brow is, the eye, the nose, and the mouth. Everything on the right hand side. I'm trying to find my line here. So my line is going to be from the top of her ear to her eye. I'm just doing this as a directional piece to keep me grounded. And I might exaggerate, but I usually go straight for the forehead. And what I like about doing my portraits this day, or just these practices this way, is that I'm not worried about likeness. I don't care about likeness. What I want is the feel. I want that vibe. I want whatever she is expressing in that reference. I want to make it my own. I want to put my character in that position. So I have to think about my character. I have to think about my character and what they may be experiencing. And that's going to build on the drawing. And I'm trying to get away from lines. What I am looking at is shapes and shadows. If you can see here, I'm drawing that shape around her eyebrow and that crook inside the eye. This is where her eyelid would be. And the reason why I try not to go into anatomical names when I'm drawing or anything like that, when I try to avoid it, even when I'm drawing it. I don't name it even though I know what I'm looking at, because the moment you name the anatomy, the part of the anatomy, and this is just in my experience, your mind will begin to start looking at the Rolodex of what an eye looks like. And you'll start doing the almond shape or the eyelid shape based on what you have in your memory and what you have in your muscle memory. I want to avoid that right now. All I want is to draw that shape, to draw whatever that shape reminds me of. I'm sorry, I keep trying to point, even though you won't see me superimpose over the image. But I hope I'm explaining it in a way that you'll understand what I mean by I'm not worried about the anatomy. I'm worried about the shape. People say the shadow, worry about the shadow. It's cool. Whatever you want. Just don't mention the part of the body that you're trying to draw. The moment you mention it, your mind will begin to try to create it. Oh, that's what that's supposed to look like. Doesn't look like that. It's supposed to look like this. So you almost have to trick your mind to say, mind your business. Mind your business. I'm drawing a curve here. I need this curve. Some people do the whole shape of the face. Some people will do the circle, which you could, the circle, and then extend it with for the chin and the mouth. Like I said, in practices like this, I'm more worried about the expression, because anything can change. Maybe I don't like the way, again, when it starts coming through, maybe I don't like the way that mouth looks, or whatever that shape looks when it comes out. And then I look for landmarks uh, for measurements. One really interesting technique is to draw everything in straight lines. You'd be surprised how your mind will soften those up later. Your mind needs structure. It really does. It's always trying to fix the puzzle. It's always trying to make sense of what it's looking at. So there's certain ways for you to trick your mind, right? Where you don't want to think about noses, mouths, and lips. We're thinking about shapes. What does that shape look like? It looks like as a curve on the top goes like that. Like those type of things is what you're telling your mind. There's a line here, there's a line there. Is later where you can start getting a specific of what you want. I don't know why that has been what has helped me. I think it could be because of failures during portraitures and trying to do one for one. This is what I want it to look like, that type of deal. And it's inescapable. Every time you draw something or someone, one of the first questions that people ask when you're drawing someone is, who is that? Nobody. Or, as soon as you mention a person, I don't know who this person is, this model. It's Jessica Chastain. I don't know. Alright, so if she's my character, she has a tiara here. Remember, I'm just looking for the vibe of the piece. I'm more focused on the emotion than anything else. People can say whatever they want. Me as the artist, as the creator of this piece, this is my person. This is my character. This is a part in a story where she thinks her partner's dead, and she's holding on to him. She's freaking out because she wasn't there. She wasn't able to protect him. She needs to be told, he's alive. She's a warrior. He's alive. You got to get past it. There's things coming around the corner. There's evil around the edge. There's more people than him that needs your help. There's certain ways that she compartmentalizes these things, and sometimes as kids, all we know how to do is yell. All we know how to do is tantrum. And she's such a force that is the way that she communicates. One thing that if you are drawing a female, I'm using a female reference here. If you are drawing females, try to avoid using a lot of lines. One thing that I have learned is that lines add age. But I'm going to soften all of this stuff up as soon as I get all the shapes where I want them to. I hope you guys can see that okay. John, good morning. How you doing? Typhus is always difficult, especially when you start thinking about typhus. In the original, this is using Pinterest, this image, and it says on the smaller thumbnail of it, AI modified. But I don't think this is an AI image. I think that what they did, or whoever uploaded it, may have used Photoshop to what's the word I'm thinking about? Maybe manipulate the image, maybe remove the background. I've seen that a lot. So just in case you guys at me and be like, he's using AI, I'm just letting you know. And when it comes to doing anything in my private time, it is none of your business. If you're going to be using Pinterest for your references, if you begin to start scrutinizing as much as the world wants you to, you're not going to get to draw anything. And I understand all the arguments that people have, but as personal, whatever you do to make your artwork your own and better, make yourself better, you do it. I don't care. Just don't cheat. You still got to put in the work. Yeah, they did something. It is a real person's face. You can see I'm pointing at my monitor as if you guys can see it on the reference. You can see the folds in the shirt. You can manipulate that. But yeah, there's a character that I love, Silver Surfer. I can't do realistic chrome. If you go to Pinterest and start putting in chrome effects and stuff like that, the majority of it is AI art. And I don't care. There's some that I even set aside because I will use it because it looks amazing. I still have to put in the effort to try to match it. I still can go and look at realistic or real images of chrome and metal. But yeah. Whatever it is that I do to get better, it's I got to do with you. And I don't mean you, I mean the royal you. Still putting in work. I understand all the arguments. I really do. I get into those discussions with my daughter, who is super duper anti AI, and she has every right to be. The resources that it uses really is unforgivable. And it sucks because it's our generation and above that have caused this thing. All right. I have to find a way here. See, drawing, my mind is now looking at the mouth. And that's what I'm suffering at. One, because it's such an extreme pose and image. And my measurement's off. My measurement is super animated and exaggerated. Not animated. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That. But also, my character is masculine. Not masculine. She's physically fit. That's a shame of me to try to say that. Only physical strength can be masculine. So I take that back. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Color theory and blending the right colors to get the end result is tough but doable. Yes. Everything is doable. Everything just takes time. Do I need AI art or AI images of chrome? Absolutely not. To learn it, I can sit there and look at stuff that's metallic and do it. They should more variety. Zing! Artfully agrees. Thank you. Drawing says, yeah, the person looks accurate, though I definitely look at some of the things I start getting confused about how their body works. Yeah. But I think that that's just when Pinterest does AI modified, is that it's they are not differentiating from a digital touch up to AI art, which may not be fair. If I put in if somebody pins a piece of my artwork that's recognizable outside of Pinterest, and then it's in Pinterest and it doesn't have much change, just maybe a filter that someone added to make it look whatever, and to get it flagged. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's one of those where you can challenge it. And maybe people don't really care that much, but I don't really go into Pinterest that way. I just search and go. It's when they I used a reference of a model in like animal clothing, like a not like a I don't know, like I don't want to say cave woman, but kind of like a cave woman. I used it for my Sheena the She Devil and Tarzan drawing and cover, and someone had put that same image of the person, of the model, through an AI filter. And it was like, oh, that's not cool. Alright, I think this. We're just in a really weird place creatively as artists and content creators. I think things are being scrutinized more than ever. But it's just kind of funny that it's the people that aren't making any money off of it, that off of the art, that are the biggest voice, the biggest whiners about it. I just think it's funny, and I don't mean that derogatory about. But it's the keyboard warriors that try to champion the cause for other people, and it's like, mind your business. Oh, brother. All right, so your boy's suffering here, so I'm curious if I'm even gonna scrap this piece. Because now I'm looking at anatomy. So maybe I can trick my mind to going back to shapes. But it might be too far. My face doesn't have the same anguish as the model there. Like, she really stubbed her toe. I'm not getting the bashed toe. And I'm kind of losing track of my own character. Digitally modified would be more accurate. It would be. So I don't know who in Pinterest decided that that was the best way to put these descriptions in. But I think they're just doing it to, yeah, this way. But my character has more flowing hair. So you know what? Let's see if we can just build it. This is the expression you make when you stub your toe in the middle of the night and you don't want to wake up the sleeping baby. Do you guys remember the Tex Avery cartoon of Droopy Dog as a sheriff? And oh no, he's a deputy, and the sheriff is asleep. And the sheriff's like, I don't want to be disturbed. Make sure it stays quiet, blah, blah, blah. And these two thieves, a wolf and a dog, or they could be two dogs, or two wolves, they try to break into something. And Droopy just keeps putting them through pain. He'll give them like he'll put like a lobster down their pants, or a hot iron. And because they don't want to yell and wake up the sheriff, they run outside. It's a random cartoon thought for y'all. Women in just with these type of expressions to me are so difficult to do. I'm so accustomed to just drawing a dude with such an exaggerated expression. But I think that's okay. This won't be the only time that this gets drawn, so and remember, when you're drawing teethus, they don't have to be straight. It could be jacked like somebody's teeth, apparently. That chin is not far enough. You know, the more and more I look at that reference, it might actually be AI. There's something weird and uncanny about it. I don't know. There's not enough detail, and I don't care that much about it. All right. If it is, though, I'm just amazed at the type of stuff that they can get away with. Like that muscle right here on the model. It's kind of nuts. Oops, Butterfingers. Yeah, it needs to be kind of like out this way. But that's okay. Like I said, we're not worried about one-to-one copying a reference, right? We just want the attitude. We just want the expression. We just want that feel and that pain that's more emotional than physical is the kind of like the expression I'm looking for. So I'm actually all right. Again, this won't be the only time. Sometimes there's just certain things that we get earwigged or mind wigged in my case that I need to just get it out and get it seen on paper for my mind to rest, right? The same way we hear a terrible song like anything Bruno Mars did, and then we need to hear it just to get it out. Where my Bruno Mars fans? I'd rather listen to the two aliens from Sesame Street. You guys know the one. Poor Bruno catching strays today on a Wednesday for no reason. I'm just playing. I don't mind Bruno. Now that I get pretty much the shapes I want, now I can kind of like start tweaking. Look at all the critiques. Dookie said the ears off. It is. It's like it needs to be this way. Showjix with a bunch of X's. Hi. So like I'm going to do my GCSEs and art is one of them. I love how you have drawn it so far. Can you? I'm ignorant. Can you expand on what GCSEs stands for? Anybody? I wanted to go see Bruno to call him. Music's good, especially if you want to get stuff done around that. Yes, I'm just playing against Bruno. I ain't got no problem with Bruno. Yeah, Sesame Street has aliens, bro. So they'll creep up. It'll be two of them usually, and they'll repeat a sound. It'll be it'll be like a leaky faucet, and it'll drip, and they'll go drip, 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 drip. Anyway, there you go. A little bit of everything on this Wednesday. All right, now we can start messing around with more form here. I think the thing that's going to be hard for me with this character is that because she is physically fit, I still want her to appear strong and feminine-like. That she's so it's like a British thing in schools where it's your final big test in high school before 12 and 13, and college depending on what you get. Oh, it's like the SATs here. in the States. Okay, okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. Hold on, let me Google it. I don't want to misspeak here, because that, I think I would have aced my friggin' SATs if they had art in it. G C S E's. For secondary education. Yeah, okay. Well, good luck. I know you're gonna kill it in a good way. Does it have to be any type of art, specific form of art? But yeah, good luck, man. I think that's awesome. Phew, 6.5 hours. Do you have to? You gotta produce something in those 6 hours? Is that like the test? Good gravy, huh? No pressure. Spanish. That's what's up. Eso sí que es. That's what's up. I think this gets lost in the fact that it does not look like, it won't look like a female unless I tell people. So, we're gonna have to do something either with the eyes. It is masculine, yeah. But so is the character. Like, this is who I'm drawing. So the only way this thing works in the concept of a storytelling is the panels before and after, right? Here, it would need to be explained in the context of the story. It'll flow into it. It's one of the things that I'm trying to understand about my artwork. Now that I'm trying to develop sequential art. The good thing is that I'm not. I was talking about fear and how fear is the killer of creativity. As I'm writing the story, Shojas, I appreciate you. Good luck on your test. Um, I'm not writing with fear. I'm not writing with, oh man, that's another panel. That's another page with 9, 10, 6 big old panels, a giant, like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to fulfill the story. I'll freak out about it when it's done. See, at this point, I'm just getting lost in the little details and the lines, flesh out what I have here. I'm not going to worry about erasing too much. It is what it is. I think that it tells, for me, it fulfills the story that I have in my mind. It fulfills the idea. So, and although it may not look 100%, still, it's one of those things that I don't have a character Bible, so to speak, just yet. I just have a general idea of what I want them to look like. So I'm worried more about the character than what they look like. Because she could be anything. She could look like anything. She could be whatever. Right now, I'm just trying to get the story beat. The story is more important to me than the character at the moment. And I don't know if that's how it's done. Any writers out there? Am I jumping in ass backwards? Does it matter? One of the benefits of not being a creator like that, and like what I would do is normally fan art or pin up of other people's artwork, like Batman, Superman, you name it. I don't have to worry about any of those things. I can just interpret them the way I want to, story not included. And the character is already so established that I just got to make them recognizable. Gotcha. Let me see. When you first put pencil to paper, you do so without fear. Always remember that feeling. And then when I didn't know how to draw, the desire to make that connection from line to pencil to canvas was strong. Whatever resulted from that process is the result. Very zen. I think the age of art been really weird lately. I think that reconnecting with older artists, the way I have been recently, has changed the way I've thought about certain things. I think social media can be very detrimental to young artists. Just because of the comparison and the you can't escape them, the trolls. Not even art critique, just trolls. I can live without trolls. But it is what it is. I am an introvert artist. If it wasn't for this channel, which is a miracle in itself, my artwork would only be hanging in on my walls. So it's taken a long time for me to accept what I can and can't do. And knowing that if this piece was to fail or not, I could always tear it out and do another one. But I think that so many people get swayed away just from critique and from just not wanting to learn, not wanting to put in the time is one. I think a lot of young artists, not young in age, but just young artists, how long did it take you to do that? Is really not the question you need to be asking. And not necessarily how long did it take you to do that drawing or that piece. They usually ask, how long did it take for you to get to where you are? And sometimes just the amount of time is never the right time. Yeah, social media is very important to young artists. I have Instagram but won't post my art there because as a beginner, I feel Insta is more for those in the know. Actually, artfully becoming, it's a bit more forgiving than YouTube is, in my opinion. But it's always different. But I don't think I've gotten a negative comment on Instagram. I have gotten them on YouTube. Fists. Yeah. Have you seen my haha. I use this a lot. I use my own when I ultimate there's a Goliath, David and Goliath. I think I've shown you the sketch of it. And one of the focal points in that piece that I want to work on is going to be Goliath's hand, because it's going to be in a specific position. But your hands are tough. Feet are tough. To this day, no feet. I think we might be good here just as a way to get the lady in the references a bit more intense. For scrutiny, I don't know there, John, but I think that we are all inherently created to be creative. We do it as kids, as children, and then it's what society begins to tell us that, oh, that's art, that isn't. The reason why, for me, for my sake, is that I love comic book art. I also fight with and struggle with trying to do what is quote unquote considered fine art. Okay, so they're in that competition that I've been watching about portrait artists. There's stuff in there that I'm like, okay, but that's because it's in the eye of the beholder. That's what they're considering fine art these days? Okay. Then shite. I shouldn't feel so bad about myself. But that's a terrible thing to think. Because that's what we have been indoctrinated in our minds for years about what's good and what isn't. If a little kid comes up to me and if we're going to be talking about scrutinizing, because that's what an artist does. When a child does it, are they trying to do it because they're an artist? No. They do art because it's what they feel. That's why the sun's always smiling. That's why trees are always green, and apples are always red. Apples are always oranges. And as wonky as it looks, wonky. It's from the heart and it's beautiful. Facts. Done. Doesn't have to be accurate. Doesn't have to be any of it. Is when we started going, oh, that's good, that isn't. It's a really interesting opinion there I got. As an artist, sometimes I get frustrated because when I share, it's not for community edit. That's not what I'm showing you this. I'm showing you because this is what I have to offer. Oh, you should have done it this way. You should have done that. Oh, well, you should keep that to yourself. I don't know, bud. I don't expect everybody to like the stuff that I do. That's cool. But they don't gotta tell me it's sacrilegious like that dude did about my Goku. That friggin' comment lives rent free. Sacrilegious. It's Goku. Oh yeah. In middle school, I once drew a Joker that wasn't smiling. He had a purse mouth, serious looking, and it was the makeup. And one of my friends was like, it's not the Joker. I was like, no, that's not your Joker. But you're right. You're right. Social media is everybody wants to be seen. That's the only reason why social media exists. Look at me. It's the age of the age of vanity. Is the portrait artist overseas? Yes. If you have Amazon, if you rock Amazon Prime, Portrait Artist of the Year and Landscape Artist of the Year is two of the best shows that I've seen. I have been binge watching for the last several months. I started with Portrait Artist of the Year, and then I believe Lead Goldman, an amazing artist in his own right, here on YouTube. Check out his channel if you can. He said you should try that one too. So after watching 6 seasons of the Portrait Artist, I jumped to the Landscape Artist and watched maybe like 5 seasons of that. I watch about an episode a night. Some of it is noise. Some of it is just hoping to absorb stuff via visual osmosis. I think that because her hair blocks the rest of the emotion, we would need hands. Hands. Artfully, you got to draw some hands for me. Some fists. Come to turn, draw with peace of mind. Yeah, you have to have peace of mind. So your portraits look like cartoons when you try to make them realistic. So my advice to you, artfully, is exaggerate it. You might be like, well, that's defeating the purpose. No, see what happens when you exaggerate. You might be surprised how realistic some of the pieces come. John, man, I enjoy my coffee too much to try to spill it, my friend. And in this day and age, coffee's expensive, bro. So artfully, if there was one thing that you feel that's causing you, is it just proportions you think that's causing the image to look cartoonish? There's nothing wrong with that either, but I'm not spilling my coffee, bro. I'm gonna move it off my table because I feel like you're willing it to happen. You mind, Joe. Maybe I can do a video on proportions. I'm not the best portrait artist, and if I was to try to sit here and do something, it'll probably take hours to do. I'll show you some of my more technical portraits. But yeah, but sometimes it's just the basics. And if I can help you just get some of the basics or an understanding of the basics, even if you know them and have them already, seeing them at in a different perspective may unlock something. Positive thoughts, no bad will. Spill your Joe, spill your Joe, spill your Joe. Those artists that can spill their coffee, dab it on the paper, let it dry, and then do... Oh man, that's how you get ants. I put too much time on this. I really need to get on my Joker. Man, something really cool happened to me recently. I was able to virtually meet through YouTube and Instagram a professional comic book inker by the name of Chuck Gibson. He introduced via another YouTube artist by the name of Rob Norton, and he just recently finished, or he's about to, professionally inking one of my drawings, and I'm so like tickled about it. It's really such a weird feeling. It's like my eyes are adjusting. I can see certain draw here, and I cannot wait to share the results with you guys. He hasn't sent me the high-res digital version of it, but he was working on it the last couple of days, and he was pretty much done. I think like most artists, he's just gonna like scrutinize it some more and tweak it. But it's such a cool, and it's just the images, Green Lantern and Steel. This is something that I did in February. I was doing it during Black History Month. I was trying to do a collection of Black or African American superheroes and villains, and I did a faux cover and pinup with those two characters, the John Stewart, the Green Lantern, and Steel. I'll show you guys. Yeah, see, I don't know if that chin is real. Yeah, he nailed it. It's amazing what he was able to do. It has just been an amazing opportunity to meet and talk to him and ask him about the industry and ask him questions about his process, which in turn makes me a better inker, and it also humbles me as someone who inks his own work and don't really do myself any favors when I pencil my artwork for an inker. And knowing that I was going to send it to him for him to put his expertise on it, it made me draw differently. It made me draw cleaner. Not a lot of smudging, and like just it really did make me kind of like step my game up. And I'm like, does he like it? Is he okay with it? About Jay Leno's, man, Jay Leno's a national treasure, bro. But he does got a chin. Hi, how are you? I have a Loomis book, and I have studied Pinterest, which shows a good bit of info, but just trying to get a method. Would love to see a video on proportions. Ooh, proportions? Let's do it. So, I tell you what, if you guys are comfortable with this time, I don't know, my times are always a little bit weird. I've been trying to stay consistent with this time slot. Usually if I don't get a chance to come on 10 or this early, is usually around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. But yeah, man, I have some books on proportions and the great How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. We could definitely look at some stuff. You got it. And I'll do that for Wednesdays. I'll do Wednesdays like a workshop setup. Again, not I won't call them classes. I won't call them 101s. They're workshop demos. And we can walk through some of my methods. And if I can superimpose any images on the screen, I will do that. You said Loomis. Loomis is good. Riley, I think Loomis was before Riley. And then there's Hogarth. They all copied each other. I can't remember who the first one was, but they all have a very interesting method. All derived from the same thing, really. One is divisions, right? I think Loomis is the divisions of the face, while Riley is more the more of the rhythms. Did I say that? No, divisions, Loomis, Riley, rhythms, meaning there are curves, natural curves, like for her face. I wouldn't want to do that, but let's say the rhythm on her face would be from the tip of her ear to the corner of her mouth. The nose is a rhythm here that goes through the around the nostril downwards. That's kind of like the barrel where her mouth is. Got the circle, yeah. So that type of stuff. I love Loomis and Riley's method, but you really can go nuts on those. But yeah, I've done both. And let me show you guys something. All right, so this sketch here, this study, I think it's using mainly, it's using a bit of both. It has the Riley rhythms and the divisions of Loomis. And this is no reference. It's curious to me why it came out Asian, but that's okay. But I really wanted to mess around and showcase. I thought it would be a really interesting idea to try to show a rough head using these measurements and then building out with the paints. There's no ink in between. It's straight from the methods of building the face and then to paint. Usually when things aren't working right and I can't get the images right, even when I'm using a reference or anything like that, you can see some of those methods in there, the divisions, the cross. So cross sections, and this sketch here, Red Sanja, she has a J in there, was created using this model. They even have the same hair. I like these models because of it's so segmented and articulative. So she's usually the one I use for my Spider-Man drawings, but these segments really help with when building the figure. These two segments I use at the top barrel of the upper body, the midsection, and then the lower section. Doy, right? I'm not, but I appreciate these weird segments on the body, and not just having it be one color, because it helps me look at the image, look at the figure in 3D and draw in 3D. So if you notice, I'm even doing segmented pieces to keep me in that 3D shape, because you got to draw around the whole. You have to keep in mind the whole thing around the figure, where the shoulder's gonna go, the back muscles, and that type of stuff. But well, yeah, Amazon, bud. I tell you what, if I hold it here, you can take a snapshot and do a reverse Google image search, or you give me a day or so, and I'll go through my history and I will find it for you. Here I go. I'm going to show you guys my toys. I have the female version over there somewhere. So this is one of my first ones. You guys probably see this one a lot. These are probably the most inexpensive. This one actually still holds up. There's some that are really cheap. It depends where you buy them. Even Amazon is hit or miss. If you can find one that has really good reviews, this one holds up pretty well. It has a ton of attachments for hands, same head, but it's usually the hands, guns, swords, blah blah blah. They have the pieces to use. They're not too bad. I have a female version of this one, but it's too small. It's so small I can't find it. So that's one of them. And then from here, was that. Then I bought these. This poor dude, he lost a hand. He doesn't have hair, but they can take their faces off. I don't know why, and I don't remember where any of the other pieces are, but they might have different expressions. I can't remember. And you can articulate. You can't really see their eyes, so if you wanted them to look in a certain direction, you can do that. A little too creepy for me. I think these are marketed as I'll find it. Ugh. There goes the hand. What I'll do is I'll put them in my community posts, and I'll leave it there in case you guys want to check them out. These are a bit pricey. I don't use him as often. I use her more often than anything. So those are them. And then I graduated to this dude. That's my Sylvester Stallone. Look at that guy. Mm-hmm. He gives you that. No, he didn't. Okay, I'm sorry. The cool thing about this figure is this weird rubbery skin. It can stretch and fold, so it gives really cool, almost realistic folds and flexes. I like it when if a figure is like for her, if I had that figure, you can see the stretch, the natural stretch of the so that's kind of cool. That's why I thought I was going to be using him as often. He's taped up down here because the material is coming off of his elbow. I mean his knees. You can see some tear there too. So if I don't, he'll have a machine knee, and his cheeks are out. These guys are anatomically correct, except for the front, usually Ken doll. The female version is anatomically correct in both ways, which is why I keep it aside. And I don't like the hair. He has plastic hair and is molded. The female version of this has weird bristle hair that doesn't do anything. I would prefer just having a bald model, but it is what it is. These I think were about 80, if I remember. These were about 40, if I remember. I can't remember completely. I could be wrong about both. That was that. Then it went from that guy to this dude. This has been my go-to model for quite a long time. There's a giant version. There's a 12-inch model of him that's too big to have him sit on my table. This guy works great. He has hands and boots. You can change the boots to shoes, but to bare feet. I keep the boots on. But this is one of my favorites. I just like the face. Can't really see from the. There's a lot of detail in the face. And it was looking and using this model that made me put detail on the lower eyelid of my characters is because of this guy. Because when I would draw, I would kind of avoid it for whatever reason, and seeing it on the model made me start applying it, and I've been digging it ever since. And you can see it even on my female characters. I do it a lot. So that's that. And then he got juiced up. This guy is just so exaggerating. It's great, but he's super articulated. Not very realistic, but for a guy like me who draws a lot of comic book characters or creatures like that, he does great for the Hulk, great for Bane, great for Venom, great for Guido, Strong Guy, Colossus, whoever. And he is going to be my Goliath model. Kinda. I like the hand. I want that death hand. I like that he doesn't have a mouth, but he does have the same type of articulated eyes that I enjoy. I could just do my own mouths. Last one is this guy. The cape's not his. This one might be the least expensive. It's 3D printed. But this would be a great on-the-go, quick little thumbnail model. There's a smaller version that's half the size that might be a good travel buddy to take and mess around with. I think the articulation is really good. Super groovy. He has a ton of accessories and weapons. Oh, you're gonna throw it back? But it's really well done. Kudos to the creators of this thing. It's very well done. I wish they want to make it unisex, which is why the shape is so I'm not gonna say generic, but that can fit both. I would have preferred a more broader upper body, like for the chesticles. But that's what my imagination is going to have to do the rest. But that's not all. Good God, there's way too many. Then I got these guys, my heads. I use these. Yeah, that last one is surprised me for being $8. Maybe one of the better ones that I have. And again, it's slim enough travel buddy. And I have 4 sets of these, 2 sets of 4 male and female versions. Of various detail. They go from skulls. I added the kneaded eraser to help with the eyes, to polygonated polygon segmented muscle. I surprisingly use this one the most. Not because I draw the muscles underneath, but it helps me keep in mind stretching and the muscles underneath and what they would look like. There is a skull model where you can open and close the mouth that if I can find it, I'll get it. And this is the female version. I always have those around me. They're great to have around if you need to practice on natural lighting and shadow. Like they cast the fact that they're pretty heavy. You can really somebody out if you need it for the sake, for safety reasons. But I love the dynamic shadows. You can get real-time shadows. You can match pretty good your artwork and use it as such. I have lights behind me, so if you can do it, do it. So yeah, this guy's my homie. This guy in my hands. All right, where was I? Am I even gonna get a chance to get into my Joker today? I'm gonna have to do the Joker this afternoon. But yeah, this here is my kind of like you've seen the old man in my book. This is from same technique that I've been using lately with the smudging and erasing, just a little tighter line work. Oh, that was terrible. Sorry about that. Let me see. I wanted to show you guys the drawing that artist is going to ink. Boop, 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 boop. Anybody here remember the Rocketeer? Oh, you want to see the Ninja Turtles? Absolutely. I'll pop it up. Do. Where are you, man? This one here. So this piece here is the one that gentleman, that other inker, that professional inker inked. Let me move that face. Let's do that before I start breaking stuff. Yeah, I cannot wait to see what that's gonna look like. Excuse me, my goodness. So, the turtles. We gotta draw our boy Raphael. This was one of my first experiments using fixative and gouache over it, and it didn't dawn on me when I did it that gouache is water based, fixative prevents water, it's a water retardant. And when I first started putting paint over it, it was just beating on the page. And I'm like, oh. But the good thing about gouache, you let it dry, you can start painting on top of it. So I embraced that error and just kind of went really rough with it. And then these guys, the boys, all in the red, with the red. I had done one before that was not, I kind of messed up on the painting and tore it up and started over again. That was hard to do. And that was one of those things where I was really bummed out about it, but it said, just do it again. Just do another one. Just do another one. I love the black and white. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then of course. Artfully, thank you. I appreciate that. I really embrace it. It took me a bit to really kind of. It took me about 8 months to get comfortable with it. I was messing up all the time. But I enjoy it. Where's drawing? If you're still there, this is the Riddler I was telling you about with the story that I had in mind where he was retired. And of course, Frank Gorshin? Is that his name? If I remember it right. So when I first started with gouache, it was I try to keep it very simple and just do most of my stuff with inks and see if I can do washes on top like that Cyclops. I wish I would have kept his eyes white and not red, but I have a shredder that I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, man. Some Zorro action. Some Nami. And I was doing this. This is watercolor though. Some Crying Freeman. When I was doing watercolor, I did a series. I don't know why I chose 12, but I chose 12 of my favorite anime or manga inspired art, and Crying Freeman, Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, the watercolor does suit manga. But I don't know how to go extra. I didn't know how to give the watercolor that oomph, which is probably why I kind of like gravitated to gouache, because gouache can be super vibrant, like acrylic. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to do another one with Spider-Man, Torch, and Dr. Octopus. These aren't original art. No, this is straight from the manga. This is straight from a comic. I just exaggerated some of the features. I don't know if they're even on the same page. Some Go 13. If you're into manga and anime, JOM, go to my Etsy. I have some prints there of Go 13, Crying Freeman, Ninja Scroll. It's gonna have a 4K release in theaters down here. Some Vampire Hunter D. So when I was doing watercolor, I really emphasized a lot on the inks, and plus I was using images from still frames. That's a still frame from the movie. I can't remember where I got this reference from. It's probably online. Bruce Timm art. So yeah, Uncle Fester. This one's kind of funny for me because my wife and I have been together for a very long time. So I was joking around saying that this was. we didn't know each other when we were this young, but I thought it'd be funny at what we would look like as little kids together. You just saw Vampire Hunter D yesterday. That movie is amazing. The sequel or the very first one, the OG? Oh, here's the one I was telling you about. Yeah, damn right. Christopher Lloyd Fester. A caricature of Boris Karloff. I'm sorry for the glare. And then, of course, this was a point where, frustrated with my art, I was gonna quit. I was just gonna stop. So the heck with it. This was 4 years ago, and I was like, I'm just going to do the best that I can, and this is it. This is gonna be it. And then these two, one after the other. I thought, man, I can't quit now. What's the point? And it's just graphite pencil. And at the end, using white jelly pen for the highlights. There goes the head. I'm glad it wasn't my coffee. It was close. I don't know. I was following I always forget his name. MMMOX. He's a Korean artist that does watercolor, and I was following his tutorials to do these. It's crazy how our minds get in the way, telling us it's no good. Yeah, and it wasn't just no good. It was just kind of like it was this weird feeling I was going through about, yeah, maybe not good enough. Who am I selling it to? What am I doing it for? I've never made any type of financial gains from my work. What's the point? Is it just going to be a hobby? Am I wasting my time? All of those questions. And before I hung it up, because I think I almost quit a bunch of times, but before I hung it up, I simply just do one last piece that you're going to be proud of, no matter what. And I don't even think I've thought about it that way. I just saw the references. It's been forever since doing a legitimate portrait style drawing. And just sat and forgot about everything else, and those were the results. And that's really what happens, right? That's what JOM was talking about. Just be in peace of mind, one in mind, and do it. And it was just like, okay. And I haven't stopped ever since. I think there's got to be a point. I'm trying to think back of the catalyst. I don't ever feel like I've stopped. But I've never really put my foot on the gas quite the same, like after that experience of drawing those pieces. And just the way God works, and I started to be attracted to certain artists and creatives online and social media who had positive outlooks. And I just stayed riding that wave of positivity, and it's not always present or as high as it was or is, but it was constant, and the challenges became just that, a challenge or something to overcome. It wasn't like, oh, my world is over, as some of us are or feel. And it literally has not stopped. So I do a lot. I think I almost put something on paper every day, even on weekends. If I'm not recording, I grab my sketchbook, and it's just, I don't want that the end of my chapter here to ever say, man, I didn't get a chance to do that. That's baloney. I never did that because I don't want to ever say that. I just want to say I did everything that I wanted to do. I drew everything and everyone that I wanted to. I tried every piece that I wanted. I didn't try that because I didn't want to. I'm okay with that. There's no regrets there. But yeah, that's it, man. That's Martin K. What we were drawing today. Is that Jean Grey? Yeah, I'm sorry. I flipped through these too quick. I was drawing stub your toe. The lady stubbed her toe. No, I'm kidding. Just a portrait study. What's up, everybody? And you guys are coming in, and I'm about to dip in a few minutes, but I will be back later on this afternoon. But yeah, so this is what I was working on using this reference. If you guys want to take a peek at that, where are you? That one. That's the reference. Yes, we know, as JOM mentioned, her ear's a little wonky. The chin's not too far. I'm just messing with you. But I wasn't looking for direct one-to-one referencing. What I really wanted was just the expression is what I wanted to put onto my character, which is this character. For the story that I'm developing. That's one of my main characters. That's her in a moment of frustration and loss. Let me see. I'll pop this in here. Which one are you talking about? And yes, dude, that was Jean Grey. It was the Phoenix. And then Jean Grey. A little sass. About to give you that rare. So this is what I was working on. I'm actually gonna end today's stream in a few minutes, but I will be back around 3 o'clock, 3:30. If you guys are still down the clown, hang and bang. And that is when I'll be drawing. I'll try to finish up, put some work on the Joker. Move that over. Let me share with you guys some minor stuff I was working on. This was the piece I did yesterday. I did not record this. Excuse me. I did not live stream this. This was kind of like a personal. I did record it though. I am going to create a video talking about the process using graphite on a canvas, which was quite interesting to say the least. Say the least. I'm gonna have to pick that. This thing has been sprayed and fixed and ready to get painted. But yeah, so I'm going to keep recording this. I'll probably be painting it tomorrow. And this, I'm hoping to get a video out by July. So in the next couple weeks, that should be done. I'll definitely give you guys some updates in the meantime. there's a ton of stuff going on. I got some stuff that's already been primed and painted, like my whole cover. But yeah, so that's what today was. Today was a little workshop, messing around with portraits. And next week, Wednesday, I think you guys are cool with it. I'm cool with it. We'll do like workshop on Wednesdays. Just messing around. We'll pick a portrait, or pick a figure, pick a hand, and I'll put up the image. And you guys can draw with me. Talk about some of the difficulties of it, some of the benefits of it, and see if we can break down and share some tips and tricks. I think that'll be cool for Wednesdays. When I can. So I'm going to clean up. I'm going to let the music play me out. I really appreciate you guys coming. I'm sorry that I am dipping as you arriving. Same with you, Martin K. If you guys are still interested, while you're cooking and cleaning later on this afternoon or this evening, I will be on how to use. Yeah, I'll put that in my how to use a putty eraser in my Wednesday workshops. So, yeah. Again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. I love you. Mean it. Until next time, I'll draw you later. Bye-bye. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Send those hearts and those 100s in the chat. Bye.